Many basketball players do sidestep jump shots, but very few are elite with their sidestep. And in fact, many do the sidestep in a way that is quite limiting and easier to guard. And why is this? Well, it's because they pick the ball up early. There's a particular sidestep I'm going to go over in this video called the SuperHandles Side-Step that does not have this limitation.
SuperHandles is tough, man.
Definitely the hardest player I've ever had to guard.
Very serious, very serious.
My man John right here, best ball handler in the country, hands down.
There are various sidesteps that I do, and the particular one I'm going to go over right now involves a dribble out to the side and a delay prior to the actual sidestep. And then during the sidestep itself, the pickup of the ball for a shot is delayed until the sidestep is being completed. So as the second step is completing, that's when the ball is picked up. This gives you a great advantage because if in the moment you recognize that you don't have enough space to get your shot off, you can continue your dribble, and that's powerful. So it's vital that you keep your hand in a legal position on the ball when performing this sidestep, but the actual sidestep as well as the pickup is delayed. Now, delaying particular actions is something I'm very serious about, and delaying pickups is one of them. And this can be applied to many different actions in the SuperHandles arsenal, but for this particular maneuver, I get the ball out to the side. I can do this in a variety of different ways, but once the ball's out to the side, then I can perform a sidestep. So I'm not doing the sidestep in harmony with the dribble out to the side. I'm delaying the sidestep. And this is something that you can do as well to set up your defender and create space for your shot. Now, being able to do this at a high level is about as rare as a two-door outhouse. Now, if you want to be as hard to guard as possible, you need to be able to do this in both directions and be able to vary the direction you do it in the moment, depending on how the defender is guarding you. And it's also vital to always keep the option to override open. So you may have in mind that you're going to do a SuperHandles sidestep, but then maybe you have an open jumper or an open lane to the basket or an open teammate. So it's vital to keep the option to override open. Here's a routine you can do to work on the SuperHandles sidestep. You can begin with the footwork. Footwork is critical. Very few have elite footwork. So you can work on abruptly getting into this. Now the footwork for a SuperHandles sidestep is initiated with a pop hop or a snap drop. And then an abrupt push-off is made. This should be an explosive push-off. And then it's a 1-2 step following that push-off. First, there's the sidestep foot, followed by the push foot. Your feet hit the ground, 1, 2. And as you can see here, I was working on the footwork in both directions. And then I added a ball. Notice that the ball is dribbled over to the side, and then the sidestep is performed. This is an abrupt action. The sidestep is delayed. And also notice that I kept the dribble here. I'm able to maintain my dribble, which is powerful because in the moment, I'm not committed to picking up the ball. So many players pick the ball up early on sidesteps. Watch closely. Players pick the ball up and then they take 2 steps. And depending on where you're playing, that may or may not be legal, but there are more powerful reasons to delay the pickup, and that's to be able to maintain access to your dribble counters. So in the moment, if you don't have that shot, you can continue your dribble. You can counter your defender. And that's a powerful thing, a beautiful thing, something I love. And it gives you the element of unpredictability. But don't execute predictably, that's key. In the moment, you gotta be able to have mental agility. Maybe you have the shot, maybe you have an open teammate, maybe you have an open lane. And all SuperHandles players should be able to mirror Hezi. Mirror Hezi can be devastating. And you can see right here, I'm working on the mirror Hezi following the SuperHandles sidestep. Now, this particular mirror hesitation can be done in the moment as a counter, or the SuperHandles sidestep can be executed as a decoy to set up the mirror Hezi. So this goes along with the SuperHandles deceive and freeze strategy, but this is all about making the defender wrong and creating an advantage for your team. And this is something I'm very serious about. Training to be as hard to guard as possible. See how powerful the SuperHandles sidestep can be? So there are times that I'll want to get a particular shot, let's say a mid-range shot, and I have the SuperHandles sidestep in mind. Well, if I notice that the defender is playing me in a way that's susceptible the other way, I need to be able to execute the SuperHandles sidestep in the other direction as well. So it depends on where the defender is, and I need to be able to assess in the moment whether or not the defender is in a susceptible state, and then always have the option to override open while in the moment. So mental agility as well as mental quickness are both key to elite execution of SuperHandles Side-Steps. And it's also vital for countering in the moment and making your defender wrong. So work on the SuperHandles Side-Step. Notice that in this routine, I worked on the footwork for SuperHandles Side-Step. I worked on creating mid-range jump shots in each direction with the SuperHandles Side-Step. And I initiated that with a between the legs dribble and then delayed the side-step and the pickup. And then I also did this from beyond the three-point line and then also countered with a Mirror Hezi. So that's a routine that you can do. Now it's not an easy routine. This is an elite routine in terms of the skill set needed to execute at an elite level. It's not easy. This isn't something that you see players doing. Most are picking the ball up early. They're using a sidestep method that requires less skills, and it's also less dangerous because once you pick the ball up early, you can no longer access your dribble counters, and that's why delaying the pickup can be so powerful. So hey, I got one more thing I want to tell you. Go sidestep on them.